Okay class, the little introductory Illustrator task I want you guys to have a go at. It's on my screen here and it'll be on Moodle. Now on the left here, this is basically the toolbar. Okay, so you can sort of see basically what the important tools are, okay, that you'll sort of need for at least year 8 and a little bit of year 9 level. First one I'll go through is the select all and resize, which is the one I've got selected now. Okay, that one will just sort of select everything, okay, and then you can resizing it using these little anchors here. If you hold down shift when you resize it, it'll keep it all in proportion. Okay, so you can make it bigger. If you don't hold shift, you can see it goes a little bit all over the shop. So hold down shift whenever you're resizing an image. Okay, and if you're not happy with it, just Control Z and it'll go back to normal. Now the other arrow, the white arrow here, will select individual lines. Okay, so I can just select that one there and then I can actually sort of manipulate it. Okay, so I make his hair a little bit higher, okay, or a little bit lower, that's what this selection tool's for. Okay, Control Z, get it back to normal. Then you got the pen drawing tool, okay, which is this one here, and we'll use that to have a go at creating these lines here, so I'll talk about that a bit later. Then the text tool, okay, just drag it. Alright, it's very similar I guess to Microsoft Word. You can change the size, you can make it bold, italic, okay, change the text, okay. So you might just want to have a play around with that, okay, do it sort of size 50 so you can see, and you might just write your name, etc. Okay, what you got then is the shape tool. Okay, so if you hold down the mouse button, you get different shapes. Alright, so for instance, a star, you might click and you go okay, or you can click and drag. Okay, you can do different things. Shape it however you like. Okay. Of course, you've got just the normal rectangle as well. Now you can see that it's filling in with black. Okay, that's because of over here. Alright, as you can see, this is the fill color. This is what your shape will fill in with, and this square here is the stroke color. So that's the color of like the boundary, the line around it. So I can change that to white, and I can give that a green color. So when I click off, I've got a green rectangle. Okay, and that'll be important for when we eventually color this guy in, which I'll show you in a minute. Now we've got the width tool as well. Okay, so that's using the pen tool. Now for instance, the pen tool, I might click here, click there, and then I might click and hold to create a curve. Okay, and then I might finish that curve there, then go back to a straight line, and maybe do another curve here. Okay, let's say that for instance. Okay, so now I've got this shape. Now the width tool, which is this one here, actually allows me to click on any spot of this pen shape I've drawn and make it a little bit wider. Okay, so you can kind of see what that's doing. I can make different patterns. All I really needed to, this almost looks like a snake, but all I really needed to draw was sort of the spine of it, and then I could make it wider in different sections. Okay, so that's how the width tool works, and it's very handy. So let's have a go now at just drawing these lines here. Okay, so we can start with well, there's multiple ways to do a curved line. Okay, for instance, with the pen tool, I'll just change this to black so you guys can see a bit better. I can click, okay, click and hold, and then I can do a curve. Okay, so you move your mouse to determine what sort of curve you want. Alright, the other way is to you can get the line, the arc tool. Okay, you could draw an arc. Again, oops, sorry. Okay, you got your different options that you want, and that'll help you change it. I sort of prefer the pen tool for drawing my curves. I feel like I have more control over it. This one here is just a simple straight line. Okay, so hold that button down, go to line segment. You can go straight like that, or if you hold shift, it's going to say dead straight, okay, or dead 45, or dead straight that way. Okay, so make sure you hold shift for that. Now the width profile line, line tool. Alright, so again, we could draw a line here, and then we could change it to width profile. Okay, and then you've just got to change the numbers for it. Okay, which will allow you to make that wider or smaller, you know, or whatever you like. Okay, then this is the other width line here, which is the triangle. Again, once you've drawn that in, which button was it? I think it was up here. Okay, you can change the weight. There you go. Alright, so I've made it that's still on uniform, but I can change that to triangle, and you can see as I adjust the weight, that triangle gets larger. Alright, and that's the same for this one here. If I change that to that profile and increase the weight, okay, that works like that as well. Okay, skinny lines, you could go back to uniform, draw a line in, okay, and this way here you can just change the stroke to say 1. Okay, that's going to be a skinny line. When we get on the laser cutter, we'll be using stroke rates of 0.001, okay, which is a very fine line, and if that's actually set to red, then we'll actually draw a cutting line, so you can barely see that 0.001. We mainly use that when we're doing laser cutting. Then you got the rectangle tool, and just going to draw a simple rectangle. Okay, whatever color you want. Okay, you go blue. That didn't work. Okay, fill it in blue, or you have no fill. It's completely up to you. Okay, so just play around with that and see how you go. So that's the first part of this task. The next part is to come over to this cartoon character with the direct selection tool, and we're actually going to colour him in. And the way we're going to do that, okay, say I click on his face here, I come over here to the fill, and I can change his colour to whatever I want. Okay, and then I could select his hair and come over here and go to yellow. I think we'll go like a brown. Okay, so that part's brown, that part there, might make it a little bit darker so it looks a little bit nice. This one here, you know, maybe he has a blonde streak through his hair. I don't know. You know, it's completely up to you. Colour in his shirt. You know, he's all into black. This kid, so he's got the black shirt, and he's going to be wearing, you know, his dark blue jeans. You know, and he's got his tie. Okay, whatever you want. His sleeves. It's not all black. Okay, he likes to add a little bit of blue on his sleeves. Alright, then you got his fingers and everything like that. So your idea is to sort of colour him in, and you can add different features. I mean, for instance, you might grab the pen tool, you know, and you might start sort of making some sort of baseball cap or something that he could wear, you know, and then coming down like that, you know. Alright, and then you could edit that a little bit, you know, maybe put a logo or something, and all of a sudden he's wearing a hat, you know, up to you. Okay, so you're going to colour him in, you're going to have a go at all these little lines, and have a go at the pen tool, and have a go at the text tool.